I'm kind of amazing. I mean, just look at how cool this tower is. We're definitely reaching the upper limit of how detailed something can look without starting to look like a jumbled mess. I mean, everything from the walls to the ceiling to the 12 magnificent pillars supporting the whole thing is filled with... Wait a second. No, you're not supposed to see that. No, we need to be looking up. Oh, this is humiliating. Okay, but seriously, something has got to be done about this floor. Now this is so much better. I can't even begin to tell you how many iterations I went through to get to this, but we made it in the end, and I think it looks incredible. I think one of the biggest stumbling blocks I had with this floor was I kept trying to make it with the same color palette as the rest of the tower, you know, with the deep slate, and then the tough, and the nether bricks, but in the end it just wasn't looking as good as I wanted it to. This is probably gonna sound a little bit weird, but over the past few days I've been thinking about floors a lot. Is it the pattern? Is it the block variation? Is it the elevation variation? And sure, those are all important, but over the days that I spent poring over different patterns and different ways to make this floor, I feel like I stumbled across something that should have been obvious, and that is that even from a distance, you should be able to tell where the floor ends and where the wall begins. And of course, that's not the only thing to think about when making floors, but one thing that I noticed when I was using a whole bunch of these deep slate tiles, or even when I went in and I tried to use a bunch of the deep slate bricks like I did before, the floor just looked the same as the walls here. I think my first instinct when I started designing the floor is I just wanted to get in here and I wanted to use the tile and the brick palette the same as I did on the walls, and it just didn't look good because you couldn't tell the difference between the floor and the wall. And of course I'm skipping a whole bunch of things in the middle of that process, but one of the things that really, it was just a breakthrough for me, was when I decided to switch from using the deep slate to using a whole bunch of this basalt. I think the basalt is close enough to the deep slate that they still look really, really good together, but it's also different enough that you can discern the wall from the floor. It's also got the added bonus that I can use the polished basalt, sorry, not polished basalt. What is this called again? Oh, it is polished basalt. Well, now I somehow feel stupid for being right. But anyway, I was able to use this polished basalt as a way to transition the smooth basalt over here to the, you know, black stone that we have in the center area. Wow, even from above, the difference between this floor and the floor above it is just night and day. This floor is so plain, it's so uniform, whereas the floor below it has details, and that is exactly what I want out of this tower. I want everything to be incredibly detailed and to just look like it's had so much time put into it, which it has. It really has. Now this is going to be a little bit of a different episode because I'm going to be spending a lot of time here in the tower talking about not just the floor, but also the rest of the walls, the ceilings, just everything, because I feel like while I've been building this, I've learned a lot about building in Minecraft, which was the whole point of the tower in the first place. I've really been trying to push the limits of what I can do and just slowly improve my building skills until eventually we get to the point where I can build something like this so much more easily than I am right now. Because sure, this looks amazing, but it takes so much time to make. Oh, and since I'm here, let's just get this out of the way now. I keep meaning to add this into an episode, and then I keep forgetting, and I keep forgetting. I have no idea how many episodes you can go back, and you'll still see this little chest sitting right here. This right here is the chest I got for winning the Star Wars Day parkour challenge. And there's some nice rewards inside. We got some diamonds, we got some red wool, as well as a whole bunch of vouchers for Lanzelott's Diamond Shop. I'll show you what that's all about at the end of the episode. But yeah, it's a great reward, and we recouped like maybe 10% of the diamonds that we spent on it. But hey, 10% is 10%, and you won't see me looking a gift horse in the mouth. Alright, I think that's been enough talking for a while. Let's go all the way to the top and look at this one more time from the top. Yes, that looks amazing. I can already see it right now. We're gonna have every single floor looking as good as this one. It's gonna look good here. It's gonna look good up here. And the bottom floor, I think we're gonna have to do something even more special down here. So yeah, this is gonna be exciting. Actually, wait, before I start finishing up all of those other floors, I completely forgot something that I really wanted to get done with that floor. go ahead and grab some of these. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to drop down here and I want to get rid of all of these torches. The problem, of course, being that if I turn on my mini HUD, you can see that all of these blocks are spawnable, and with these villagers here, that's just not gonna fly. So you ask, what is the super clever solution that I've come up with? We're just gonna come in here and get rid of this block, put that down, and we're gonna put this right beneath it. It may not be clever, but it gets the job done. Now to add just a little bit of lighting, and unfortunately I don't think those lights are going to be enough because this right here is definitely, yep, it's definitely spawnable. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over here and I am going to grab a couple of nether brick fences, and we're going to put just a little bit of a band-aid solution on this by yeah, that doesn't look good. Don't worry, these are only temporary measures. And I don't know, I guess we'll put one in the corner too. And now this is starting to look incredible, and we've even got these floors down below done, and, well, maybe don't look all the way at the bottom. But seriously, this looks so cool. Let me see if I can make a side-by-side or maybe a transition shot of the before and after of this. And it just occurred to me that I don't really need to say, let me see if I can do this, because by the time you see this, I'm gonna have already edited the video, so whether or not I can or I cannot make the shot is totally irrelevant to what I'm saying right now. And in fact, you're probably watching it right now while I'm talking. I hope you liked it. One thing that I'd waffled back and forth on for a little bit is whether I like this fence here on the bottom or if I'd like it without the fence. And even before I made this new floor, I already knew that I liked the fence just a little bit better because you can see it just a little bit from down below and it looks a lot better. The big problem with that being that you can't jump over it, and so it makes getting around the tower just a little bit inconvenient, although that was kind of cool what I did there. Okay, whatever. I mean, you can't get through it without some, you know, weird parkour trick. However, I think we're going to be fine because even though you can't get over this particular fence, you can still always just go to the corner and walk up the stair and then boom, you're right over. And this is good enough. Oh yeah, this looks much better. And now we are going to do the base level as well, but before we do that, I want to take a look at these little elevators right here, and I want to make them look just a tiny bit better. I think the ideal solution would be to have some sort of little statue here, but it's just not really. I mean, in Minecraft, you can really only do so much in a really small area, and if I were to make the statues big enough to look kind of somewhat sort of decent, then they just look too big. And I very specifically got rid of these two pillars because you can see we've got all 12 of these pillars down below. But for the final storage room, I wanted it to look a little bit more open, especially since we already have this really big walkway going in between everything. And having some sort of big statue here would just go completely against that. So one of my initial thoughts was that I could just take some stairs like this and we could make like a really simple, I mean, I don't know what it would be called. It just makes it look a little bit more, I honestly don't know what I'm trying to say, but I think you get it. Like, just make it look a little bit less like a hole in the ground with water in it, because this doesn't look good. But while this does make it look like something and it's maybe marginally more fancy than that, I still think it, you know, once you put water in here, it's just gonna be, oh boy, that was oopsie. Let me just run down here real fast and be prepared to replace these torches because I do not want zombies spawning in here because I've got a lot of villagers. Oh, and now we gotta wait for the water to fall. This takes so long. All right. Still waiting. Yeah, this is really fun. Actually, wait. Did it not destroy? Huh. I guess it didn't destroy any go going back up, all right, what was I saying? So if I'm gonna be a little bit more careful this time, but if I, nope, okay, that doesn't work. How do I do this? What is the smart way to do this? Okay, we're just gonna get rid of this stair, and we're gonna place that there. Then we're gonna go like this, and then we're gonna go like this. Like that. This is so stupid. I'm literally making this thing just so that I can tell you that I don't want it to be here. But yes, moral of the story, I can make it like this, but I don't really like it. But I had an epiphany. What if instead of building this up, I just removed these stairs, and instead of building up, I removed these blocks and added these as stairs? I think you see where I'm going with this, but I'm still talking because I can't really build this or do this fast enough for... there we go. It's done. Sorry. Now it's done. And I know what you're gonna say, isn't this just another hole in the ground just like you said you didn't want to do? And the answer is no. This right here is a hole in the ground with water in it. But this over here is a slightly more interestingly shaped hole with water in it. And that interesting shape, along with the fact that it's a little bit bigger, makes this look deliberate. See, anybody who visits and sees this, they're gonna think, well, I guess Purple got kind of lazy and he just decided to leave it like that, which to be fair would be accurate. But if they see this one, they'll be like, oh, Purple, he came over here and he very deliberately put these stairs there and added water to them. He's an amazing builder and everything he does is awesome. Or something like that. On to the final floor. I don't know why I spent all that time designing a cool floor when I could have just removed it entirely. Oh yeah, that looks great. And now finally, I don't have to feel self-conscious about looking down at the floor because it no longer looks terrible. I know I've said it several times already, but I just feel like I've learned so much in the process of building this. And there are so many little secrets hidden throughout here. I mean, not secrets, but like little things that you might not notice when you're just looking at it. But for example, we've got 3 floors here, and the first and the final one are both kind of lit up a little bit, whereas the middle one is just a little bit darker. And while it's still obvious that all 3 of these floors are basically identical, you know, it's just the same sort of thing packed on top of each other. But just having that slight variation in the floors really makes it like when you're looking down here from the bottom up, it just helps to give you that feeling that you're looking at something that's not exactly the same. And even on these columns, you can see all of these columns, they have the exact same polished deep slate going all the way down, or like right here, we've got only the tuff. And that might seem just a little bit strange considering literally everything else here from, you know, the floor now to the columns to the walls back behind here are all textured. You know, the floor has the basalt and the mud. We've got even the blackstone here. We've got different types of blackstone. We've got different types of deep slate here, transitioning into even some blackstone up above. The ceiling has warped wood and blue terracotta. There's all sorts of different textures here, but I very specifically wanted these to be just polished deep slate and nothing else. And I feel like that was a really big learning experience for me because initially I did texture this, and you know what? It just blended into the background. I mean, it feels kind of weird to say it, but sometimes having less detail can make something stick out just a little bit more and make it seem like it's more detailed. And just to give you guys a tiny example of what I'm talking about, let me head up all the way up to our storage room again. This is a very long elevator, but if I come over here and I grab some deep slate, just kind of the same sort of textures that I used to do the wall. I'll just grab some of these deep slate tiles and some cracked deep slate bricks, and then some cobbled deep slate, which I will turn into polished deep slate over here real fast. And now let's fly down outside, and I will just kind of show you what I'm talking about. I'm not sure if this is going to be a really great way to explain it, but let's just make like a really simple, I don't know, somewhat sort of random gradient you know, it's not going to be anything crazy. There you go, something like that. So if I come just a little bit farther away, I know it's very small, so not a great example, but it looks pretty decent. You know, things in nature are supposed to look just a little bit roughed up, which is, I think that's kind of the main reason why we texture things in Minecraft. But what I'm basically doing over there is if I take all of this out and I replace it with polished deep slate, then if we come back all the way over here, and again, it's not a great example, but yeah, see that T right there that I made out of the polished deep slate? Yes, it's not textured, but that's the detail. Is what I'm saying making sense? I mean, it's not a really difficult concept. It's just sort of the opposite of what we typically do. I mean, when we think of details, we try to put extra blocks there and try to make it look especially interesting. But if the wall itself is already interesting, then sometimes it's the plain stuff that really sticks out to you. So let's head back in here and look at the pillars again, because I think that it might stick out to you just a little bit more. Yeah, you see those pillars? They just stick out to you so much more because of how plain they are. I mean, even if I go into free cam like really close, you can see all of this back behind here. This is still textured. We've got deep slate tiles and deep slate bricks all in there, but all of these details, they're just plain polished deep slate. And I did the same general thing here with the tuff. I mean, yes, it's also detailed because these are walls, so it's like a little bit farther back, and that helps a lot. But I think the big thing that makes it stick out from a distance, I mean, even if we come all the way out here, those tough walls, they just still stick out because they're only tough. Okay, I know at that distance it's more about the difference in color than the difference in texture, but you get what I'm saying. I've been using this tower to practice so many different techniques. I mean, like, especially shadows. I mentioned those shadows, but also at night, you can see there's shadows right here behind the arches. If you look up at the ceiling, you know, there's also some shadows in there. I know this gets I know sometimes it's a little bit hard to see where I'm pointing on the video. But again, if I go all the way up to the top, even that little torch in the center that I need to get rid of and replace with like maybe some glowstone and a carpet or something like that is there for a very specific reason. I just love how the light from the torches and then the light from all of these lanterns all around, they just kind of combine to create this little bit of shadow that combines with the black stone, which is already darker, and it just creates something even darker and more interesting, and the shadow makes it fade altogether. I just really love this. But I think that's all I have planned for this episode. Well, actually, there is one more thing that I wanted to do, and that is to come down here, and you can see I kind of started. It's a little bit not super noticeable, but I put a shulker box up here, and honestly, I really hope you didn't notice it, because I really want to avoid things that detract from, you know, the general atmosphere that we have going in here, and having shulker boxes everywhere in here doesn't really fit it, but this is pretty not noticeable. I mean, if you know that it's there, you can see it, but if you don't know what you're looking for, it's pretty easy for it to just fade into the background. But anyway, I think I'm going to just put a few of these shulker boxes in just in these corners, and then, you know, the same thing up on the other levels, and then fill them up with just random stuff. Like this one's got some emeralds, and I think I'll probably run up and get some books, or, you know, just all sorts of little things that I might need for villager trading, because I still want the tower to be, you know, convenient for me to actually use. So let me just do that real fast. And with all of that taken care of, let's run over here, and I think we had some diamond shop. Yes, some vouchers for Lancelet's diamond shop. So let's go and see what that's all about. Well, that's new. Okay, this is really cool. The eagle looks a little bit sad, but oh wow. So this is Sammy's new terracotta shop. Wow, he absolutely knocked this out of the park. Is there actually a way into it? Ah, here we go. Sam's terracotta shop coming soon. Oh wow, this is pretty insane. Let me fly back up here and get another look at it, because this is cool. There's a little chicken up on top of it. Oh wow, yeah, the shading on this and the little details on the feathers. Sorry, I know that's not why I came here. Okay, here it is. It took me a second to find it because it says die on it, because a diamond. That's funny. But let's hop in here and see. Let's see. Employees only. Enter here. So I'm guessing we travel down this. Okay. Interesting. Pay 2 diamonds, take 1 diamond. Alright, so we just need to pay 2 diamonds to take 1 diamond. Oh, and with 50% off, I can pay 1 diamond to get 1 diamond back. Now that's some smart investing. Let's see, what else? Diamond Investment Enterprise. Please buy and enjoy. Oh, okay, so he's selling IOUs. Okay, so I just read through the book, and basically there's 3 levels of IOUs. So we can have a level 1, which is 5 diamonds, and it's just a simple task. Level 2 is a slightly more complex task or a small build for 1 diamond block, and then for 3 diamond blocks, we can get a level 3, which is a difficult task or a larger build. This is such a cool idea for a shop. Let me just fly off and get some more diamonds real fast. And I'll use the portal on the way back. I mean, I typically use the portal, but sometimes I just like to fly around just to get another look at all the other builds that people have done. And wow, yeah, there are definitely some cool builds around here, but let's fly down here. And let's just start with buying out all of these. Let's see, 3 diamonds, so we pay 6 diamonds, perfect. Another 3 diamonds, and we'll pay 6 diamonds. Oh yeah, that's a great deal. And then in here, I think what I'm gonna do is I grabbed the book. I'll go ahead and put that back, but it's 3 diamond blocks for a level 3 IOU. So I think what I'm just gonna do, I'm gonna put 3 diamond blocks there and then use a voucher. So that should mean that I should be able to take 2 level 3s. I'm gonna assume that's how it works. And you know what, while we're at it, why don't we just put another diamond block in here and let's get 2 level 2s as well, and we'll just put the little voucher there in the corner. If you have an idea for what I should use these IOUs for, please let me know down in the comments. I'm gonna need some ideas because that's a lot of IOUs. And actually, I mean, I'm out of coupons, but let's just take 2 of the level 1s as well, and that should be 10 diamonds total. There we go. All right, so now we've got 2 level 1s, 2 level 2s, and 2 level 3s. What am I gonna use these for? Please let me know down in the comments. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be it for this episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one because I'm going to be completely honest. I think this is the most fun I've had making an episode in a really long time. I mean, I always enjoyed, playing Minecraft and making these episodes, but oh my goodness, just all of this progress that we did and the way the floor looks now. I put a lot of work into this and I'm just so happy with the results. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more like it, well, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. If you're feeling especially generous, you could leave a like or comment as well, but oh guys, I really hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it because I had a blast. I'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.